Oh, okay, well, welcome to our voluntary session number 2 for EDU 556. I shouldn't take long. I just wanted to start off by saying I was able to get through all of assessment number 4 this afternoon, and that would have been the discussion after using or after exploring computational thinking or programming. I tried to give a wide variety of options and opportunities to explore computer science in some way, shape, or form. Some people used code.org, some people used Scratch, some people, some people use some of the other tools that I promoted in the discussion forum, and uh, that was a wonderful thing. A lot of people did screencasts of their experiences, and then of course put them online for us to watch. I thought they were wonderful. All the screencasts. I did get to watch them all. Everybody used a wide variety of screen capturing technology. It's great practice for when teaching online, or if you're doing something face to face or in a hybrid format. Those tools become very useful. So thank you very much. You should have gotten feedback in Anthology for your collaboration. I did put the points up in Brightspace. So, but let me go ahead and start off by kind of, again, what I mentioned the last significant weekly announcement, and that is just how I made an error in this schedule and just the implementation. So I typically provide 2 weeks for assignment number 4 for module number 4, so people can kind of get used to the digital tools, explore the programming and coding, and so forth. And then I give people time to explore. And then the next week, I usually ask them to, develop something, play something, do the screencast, and do the discussion. But I forgot to release module number 5 a week early, so it kind of really messed with the schedule. The problem, I can't just release 5, 6, and 7 and try and just backload a ton of content onto everybody, because it's going to make you all miserable, because it's way too much to do in like about 16 days we have left of the class. It's just not going to work well. So what I end up doing is, to err on the side of the student and to err on your side, what I decided to do is we have to keep 5 and 6, because module 5 explores integrating technology into the instructional process somehow. And then number 6 is a video. You're actually going to be facilitating, but there's a kind of like a fun kind of connection with that. So what I ended up deciding to do is module 7 is about using data to improve student achievement. It's a project-based learning activity. It's about analyzing data, making instructional decisions. So what I decided to do, since these 8-week courses are so short, and since I made an error in the schedule by a week, what I decided to do is just get rid of module 7 and get rid of the assessment that's associated with that. So in truth, now you have 2 modules to do, only 2 assignments to do. There's one part of assignment number 1 that you'll have to complete, but that's not until close to the very end of the course. So again, it's actually less work for you all have to do. So hopefully that long-winded explanation kind of shows exactly what I did. It was just the only thing I forgot to do is just release module 5 on the correct week. Instead, it's just wasn't going to work. So anyway, so that's that. So we're just, again, to reiterate, we're just going to do modules 5 and 6, which is assignment 5 and 6. So assignment number 7, which is called using data to improve student achievement, we're not going to do. You're not going to you're not going to be penalized in any way, shape, or form. It's not going to affect your e-portfolio in any way. It'll be fine. So what we're going to do for the rest of tonight is I'm going to go over the 2 modules that you will be doing, number 5 and number 6. Talk about the assignments too, number 5 and number 6. And I'll also talk about the very final kind of like little reflective activity that you'll do going back to what you performed in module one a couple, was it 5 or 6 weeks ago. Okay, so I'm going to hit the escape button real quick, and I'm going to go to Brightspace. Okay, so here's module four. You all completed module four, and you did a wonderful job at it. So here is module five, which is ISTE Educator 2.5. It's called Designer. So this is where you're actually going to design. We call it a digitally enriched learning activity. So it's not a full lesson plan, but you're going to actually first start with the module plan. We always start the module plan because it really does provide you with the complete uh, experience, a content experience for you. And I'll talk a little bit more about what you'll do. So again, there's the module objectives, the lecture, the associated resources, the readings, and this digitally enriched learning activity, which I'll talk about in a minute. Okay. So as you scroll down, you'll complete all these readings or watch these short little videos. I tried to put on something useful. There's, of course, the UDL, Universal Design for Learning. I'm sure everybody's seen the framework before. I'm sure you'll see it plenty other times, but this will actually talk about the aspects of it in the instructional design process. There's the Assure model. You'll know what the Assure model is after you watch everything. Let's see, and then let's talk about what the assignment's going to be. So this digitally enriched learning activity is you're going to use a modified Assure model for instruction, which is, if you don't know what the Assure model is, you'll when you do your reading, you'll kind of learn what it is. The Assure model is kind of like it's really kind of like a learning framework. It's how you would develop your assignment. Betty, I'm going to mute you real quick because I'm hearing feedback on your thing. There we go. So for what you're going to do is you're going to select a grade, a subject, or a topic for the learning activity. You're going to describe what the context of learning is, like where are they learning it, what's the school, what's the background of the class, what are they learning. You're going to select a digital tool or resource to use with students, like you're going to create the resource or evidence of the resource to use with the students. You're going to craft the plan and procedures on how to prepare and deliver the instruction. You're also going to adapt the plans to accommodate a diverse learning population, including students with special needs, ELL students, students in GT. And then you're going to submit the completed learning activity by March 10th. So was it about 11 days from now? I have to get used to it being a leap year. And again, I created a template to kind of guide you through the process of developing this plan. So you'll fill in all this content. And as you can see, all these letters equal Assure. ASSUR. Actually, it's UNR here, and then E. So what you'll do is it's basically coming up with the framework, the components of a lesson, but it's not a full-blown lesson. It's not nearly as detailed or designed. It's really focusing on you integrating technology, a digital tool of some sort, into instruction. I tried to include links to resources to assist you and advice. Now, if some of this doesn't make sense yet, you have to go back to module 5 and experience it because it's all in module 5. And again, I put a lot of guiding text in the template too, so you can complete it as you go. It makes it a lot easier just to give you feedback and give you advice. Okay, I'll open it up to you all. Any questions about module 5 or module 5's assignment? I call it the DELA. Okay, no questions. I'm happy to move on to module 6. Betty, as I'm getting that ready, just what we just discussed before, just about the details that we're not doing module 7 or assignment 7. We're just doing module 5 and 6 during the course, since I messed up the schedule a little bit. Okay, so let's go to content. It's not going to affect anything when, it's not going to affect you in any way, shape, or form. Okay, now module 6 is right here. And where that was designing instruction, this is about facilitating it, the actual action of teaching. Now, again, there's a module plan, there's a presentation, there's a transcript, there's very little readings, but what I want to really focus in on this assignment, and this is kind of like, this is due the last day of class. So I'm giving you 16, 17 days to do this. So what you're going to do is you're going to record a 10-minute video of a class. It could be a class, it could be a small group, or it could be a single student. And if you're in a pinch, you can always ask your children to do it at home. You can always ask a significant other to pretend that they're a student. I'm very flexible. Of course, if you have limitations to video, like recording, if you're in a classroom and you can't video record, you may just want to see if you can, again, get somebody that you have no problem with recording. So what you're going to do is you're going to record yourself using technology for instruction. Now, you can use that plan that you developed in Module 5, or you can pick another digital experience to use with students. What you're going to do is you're going to provide a little bit of pre-recording information. What's the context of learning? What's the grade, the subject, and the content that you're going to explore during the learning activity? What digital tools are being used during the recording? Now, as you can see, it says I want you to record 10 minutes. But what you're going to do is, once you record the 10 minutes, you're going to find the best 4 minutes of instruction, and you're going to edit it down to 4 minutes of video recording. So although you were going to record 10 minutes, you're going to pick the absolute best material from your lesson, where you're doing the activity, kids are on task, whatever. You're going to pick the best 4 minutes and share that as a video clip. And then you're just going to briefly reflect upon the experience. So the reason why I'm doing this with you all is a lot of you may have to complete EdTPA, or which is the kind of the undergraduate assessment before you become a certified teacher. Or if you're in the graduate program, a lot of people are becoming national board certified teachers. You may have to edit video. Not a lot of editing. Usually it's just like cutting certain sections. So what you're going to do is you're going to record it and again, edit it down to 4 minutes, and then submit. You're going to submit the 4 minutes in a short little planning document for the assessment. And the nice thing is that can go right into Anthology Portfolio. If you go down a little bit, let's see, if you click on this, it gives you even more information. Here's the recording and reflection information. It's a little template to help you fill everything in. There's not much to the template. Most of it's recording, but it's all of the parts that I just mentioned before. Okay. So assignment 5 and 6 will go into Anthology Portfolio. For assignment 5, which is the digitally enriched learning activity, it's just going to be a template. It also does require a student resource for you to develop something that you would do as a student handout. It's nothing, it doesn't have to be something super elaborate. It could be directions you give to the students, or a notes section, or directions to something that you would prepare and you would have the students use. For module 6, for assignment 6, you're going to submit two things: the 4-minute video that'll go into Anthology, and also the document that kind of talks about the pre-recording, the learning components, a little bit about the recording, and then the reflection afterwards. I think if there's anything else to really talk about in that context. Oh, so if you're worried, sometimes I get some people that are a little bit nervous about, okay, I don't know how to video record, I don't know how to edit. That's where all this content in here comes in. I prepared an extensive document that helps you prepare for all of this, including free online video editing software that's fairly helpful to use. And no matter what type of tool you have, whether you have a PC or a Mac, whether you record it on your phone or whatever, it gives you advice. It talks about how to record, what are suggestions on what to do. So it really does walk you through the entire process of recording video. Here's the template that I downloaded and I showed you. So just one last little piece of it, or one last little suggestion. Please make sure to know what your policy is for recording video of students. What I mean is you don't have to do a class, but if you want to do a class and you have permission, just try to avoid recording people's faces, kids' faces specifically. What you can do is you can aim your camera to focus in on you, and if you're using the LCD projector or a computer, that it could focus on you and the computer, that it's the focus, although the student might be in the frame, they're not face on, you can't see their face. Okay. Now, I'm not going to be looking for permissions. I'm not distributing this at all. If you're using, like, say for instance, your own children at home, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to assume that they've given you permission to record them. If you get your significant other, they're all of adult age, I don't care. I don't have to worry about them as long as they don't sue you. Just joking. So you will have to record. If you get if you get a small group of children, just make sure that you are allowed to record them. If not, then again, just make sure that they don't walk in front of your camera. They just can't be, it's about permissions. You have to be careful not to record kids' faces without permission, without the parents' permission. At this point, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to stop recording.